Hello, everyone, and welcome to our very first episode of Some Bullshit, a podcast where we talk about current events, life's misfortunes, and anything else that makes you say, that's some bullshit. On this week's episode, we're going to be talking about the current problems with tech scalping and the state of COVID-19 as we move into the holidays. Being as this is our very first episode, I'd like to do a little bit of an introduction segment as we go in, before we go into the topics here.
Wait, I want to jump in here and just say that Greg is typing in the intros for some reason, even though we have an intro section.
No. This is the order. This is the order.
Honestly, I was going through the checklist and just was so thrown off. He was just typing in names. I was.
I heard you stutter. Well, I was like,
like
in my head, I was like, "What's the order we're gonna introduce ourselves? Because otherwise, we're gonna clash, you know." So.
I like it. It keeps us on our feet, though.
Well, you know what you did in creating an order, right? Is you created a clash.
I mean, I guess so. You didn't have to, read it while you were reading or something else. Just keep reading what you were reading.
The whole script is changing as I'm reading it. I'm not. It's like it's impossible to not read.
You know what I should have done? I should have just highlighted everything pink.
All right. Oh my God, stay out of the script, bro. I'm removing access from you.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Anyway, after a huge digress.
I'm Caleb.
Okay, dude. My name's at the top of the list.
I put an order, Caleb. Come on.
All right. Full composure here, boys. All right, so being as this is our first episode, we're going to do a little bit of an intro. As it says in the script, I'm going to go first. Caleb is going to follow, and then lastly, Greg will go. So my name is Cullen. I'm a full-time student at UTSA. I got my bachelor's in business with a focus in cybersecurity, and I'm currently going to school for my master's also in cybersecurity. I'm a tech enthusiast. I love pretty much anything tech-related. I'm always playing video games. Yeah, always, honestly. And
yeah, too much, honestly.
Yeah, a little bit obsessive, but that's fine. And I'm into action sports like cliff diving and downhill mountain biking. That's a little bit about me.
My name's Caleb. I'm less cool.
Wouldn't say that.
I would.
That's about
it.
That's about
Whoa!
it.
There's a lot more going on.
I would consider myself a hip hop enthusiast, and I'm currently going to school for music production, audio engineering, and there's another thing in there that I can't remember actually.
Okay.
There's another, but yeah, so that's about it. That's all I have.
Well, I'm Greg, and I have a bachelor's in physics with a concentration in astronomy, and currently I'm a student at the Southwest Research Institute pursuing my doctoral degree in space physics. I'm just like Cullen. I'm into technology. I'm more timid in the active sports section, but I try to keep up. Other than that, I like space and physics. I mean, that kind of checks out with what I'm doing. So that's me.
Honestly,
and
you don't give
also I want to add
credit,
one more
honestly.
thing.
He's the designated star/space man of the group.
Okay.
A future astronaut
He's like,
in the making, if you will.
He's like Elton John.
What? That's not a rocket, man.
I do want to add one more thing to my part. I hate like introductory college get to know the class things. So
oh yeah,
this hurt me a lot.
No, honestly, I meant to write up something like a trope about just how awful these things usually are, but
I think it's better though, because it's not like I'm sitting in a class of 30 people. There's that, and you guys are my friends, right? So
about that.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
First topic or what?
I did want to hold this off though. I did want to hold this off to the end, but straight up, this introduction was some bullshit.
Okay.
All right, so the first topic we're going to be talking about is the scalping issue. I mean, me and Greg have talked about this in pretty extensive detail because of just how much it affects us as tech enthusiasts. I know me and him are both trying to get the new AMD chips, the new series. Was it Series 5 or Series 9?
Series 5, and also we want to get new graphics cards.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the new graphics
Look,
cards
that's
from
fun.
Nvidia, and both of those products, as well as like several others, pretty much
And the
every
AMD
major tech
graphics
product,
cards.
and AMD graphics cards. Pretty much every other tech retailer is dealing with these problems where they'll launch a product, and within minutes of the product going live, they'll all be sold out, and it kind of blows, honestly.
Well, you
Scott.
know, it's weird because like people put blame in a lot of different sections. People put blame on the people who do it because you know it's bots buying the things, but obviously it's people running the bots. And I
I'm
put
sure
blame
they
there
do it
too.
games.
And but then people also put blames on the companies for not making enough. So it's you know it's a weird section to fall into. And you know, I think it's a medley of both, but it's definitely, in my opinion, I don't think people should be using the bots.
Yeah, and I can honestly definitely agree. I feel like if it was a normal amount of consumer activity, they would never sell out, right? I mean, maybe they would sell
Yeah,
out, but
exactly.
it wouldn't be like this, you know, because if a normal amount of people only bought one PS5, or even, I mean, in the rare case, you buy two PS5s or whatever, like they're going to have plenty of stock. But the problem is when these people with these bots kind of do all this work for them, and they're buying upwards of like 10 to 20 to 30 to however many consoles just to resell
Yeah,
them.
I also wonder how much of it is being kind of exposed just because of the low production from maybe people not being able to go in because of COVID or
Yeah, I
anything
think
like that. Like I bet
that
it's
was a
slowed down
problem
so
too.
much.
Like with AMD, I know, I mean, because I followed AMD really closely with their new 4000 series chips for their laptops, and that was a big problem. Was that you know right when COVID hit was when they were starting production, and these things are coming out. You know, what is it, 6 months, 7 months after COVID, but it probably impacted when they were making them.
Yeah, you can't really release chips if everyone's working from home, can you?
No.
But yeah, and I mean, me and Greg, like I said, have talked about this, and Greg even found a guy selling a bot on Facebook. Do you remember
Yeah.
what was the
Wait,
bot
like selling
for?
the actual
Yeah, he
bot?
was selling the bot.
Well, he literally advertised it. He's like, I know people want these cards, whatever it is, put in X here, whatever you want, and you just run the bot on whatever website, and as soon as it comes into stock, it'll buy it for you. And I was like, you know, I'm kind of uncomfortable because that you know there's some kind of level there that he has to not him himself but his program has to communicate my credit card and all that, and I was like I don't feel comfortable with that even though it's all isolated on my computer.
Yeah,
But
that seems kind of sketchy, but also like I honestly don't see a problem with that at the same time because I mean
well,
you still have people sitting on the websites that are just like constantly refreshing, right?
yeah, and
So it's like
you're never gonna buy it like that. Like apparently it's just too quick even to do that, which
You
sucks.
can't
Yeah.
beat code, even as someone who's just spamming F5 to refresh on web pages. Like you're not gonna beat someone who's got a piece of script written to just.
You could get insanely lucky, but I doubt it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it's
fair.
super low.
I guess the chances are lower than if everybody like if no one used a bot and everybody was just sitting there refreshing instead. Like
Right.
maybe you get a better chance.
Well, yeah, and you see that with stuff like streetwear, which I have a very limited knowledge of, but like stuff with like the Supreme drops, like people just they'll get on there early in the morning or whenever the drop is gonna go live, and they're spamming refresh, and then you know a minute or whatever after it goes live, they're all gone because everybody's just sitting there buying them real fast, and you know that might be another case of bots, but
Is
it's
it
a lot
or
less
is there,
limited in quality or quantity rather. There's like several hundred instead of tens of thousands.
is
Yeah.
there a lot of resale in those too?
Oh yeah. The products, the price values for like Supreme and any sort of high fashion stuff like that goes like way up after you buy it from the original distributor.
Which
I
is
was watching-
ridiculous already.
100%.
I was watching some like memes with the laughing Mexican guy, and it was hilarious because it was like him and some other guy talking, and it was Nvidia and AMD, and they're like, we sold out in seconds. I'm surprised they bought all 7 chips, and then AMD's like, that's 5 more than we made.
Oh my god.
And I was like, that's kind of hilarious because it could just be that. It could be they only had 1,000 units.
Well,
You know?
because that's one of the sort of more tinfoil hat approaches to it. But it's like, what if they only made however many so that they could make it seem like there was an incredible amount of demand, but the supply was limited?
Imagine buying it back and then like just selling them for higher.
Yeah, I know. It's like what I mean. There's probably people at Nvidia who like have just gotten free GPUs that have just sold it for double the price on eBay.
Oh yeah, it's just like getting stocks through your
Yeah,
company.
you get stock options.
You get GPU options.
Yeah, GPU options that you then just exploit, turn around and exploit on eBay.
True.
Well,
Well, that
yeah,
was the thing with the 3090s, right?
just the 3000 series in general. Yeah,
In general, yeah. I mean, those came out, they sold out, but they had all of the lower tier ones sold out because they were relatively cheap
right.
compared to other cards, and then like the 3090s, the high end ones
Still
were the only
sold
one
out.
left. But they
Those are
sold
all
out less,
gone,
like
yeah.
less quickly. So it's like I don't know. It seemed like they wanted, or like they made more of the higher end ones though at the same time, and kind of sold out of the lower ones. And like, well, we have these ones that are double the price if you want them.
Yeah. And the
So, I
price
don't know.
gouging on stuff like that is ridiculous because, like, I have it written in the notes here, but there's the 5950X, which is like the current high tier AMD CPU. It's just like their top of the line consumer chip was selling for, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was $800, Greg, right?
It's $749.
$749. So all right, so $750 before tax. And I actively saw one sold on eBay for $1,450.
Jesus.
People want them, so they're gonna
So
buy them.
nearly double the price. Yeah.
I mean, I want one, and if I was, if I had the disposable income to do that, I might. I mean, I've thought about it, but then again, it's just patience. But it also weeds out, poor people. It sucks.
100%. Yeah, it definitely kind of punches the like lower in the economic brackets for sure, because people who only have that $500 for that new console aren't going to be able to get it until they're fully restocked. They don't have the money to pay a reseller more money for it.
And the consoles are supposed to be like, a little more economic gaming options.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
they're not anymore, especially because of it sucks because this is the first year where consumers really have access to consoles like the PS5 and the Xbox One Series X and S that have like
Right.
PC level performance. And
You can game on your 4K TV.
exactly. You can finally sort of at least match your friends on their reasonably built PCs, and you
Yeah.
can't even get one, which sucks.
And I honestly can't wait to hear the stories of people that missed out on the release of these consoles and then spent enough money to just build a PC to get
That would be great. That would
Like-
actually be great.
Yeah, like someone who spent like $1,200 on a PS5,
1200 easy.
and then you could have just built like a comparable PC for that amount of money.
They were selling there on Facebook Marketplace. They're $1,100 like on average, and that's
nuts.
insane.
I was talking to my friend about this yesterday, actually, who's he plays on Xbox One, and he plays on a TV, and I was like, it must be nice having just like a normal setup. After you turn off the game, you just have like a TV. Like I have a fucking
Right.
blanket-sized mouse pad, like RGB keyboard, massive monitors and all this stuff, and he just turns off his console and it's a living room. It's it's kind of nice.
I think that's the way it's going, though.
You think
How
so?
do you mean?
Well, it's like the TVs with the new LG like OLEDs and stuff, and a lot of the gaming focused TVs are now 120 refresh rate, very low input lag. I think the TVs are trying to blur. They used to want to have I feel like a separate market between monitors and TVs, but now I think they're blurring that a little bit.
Which is awesome,
Okay,
right?
yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, I've still never played on a TV that's given me just no input lag, or like very minimal comparable to a
Oh, it's because they're
monitor.
stupid expensive.
Yeah, the current TVs that Greg are talking about are like thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah, like 4,000,
So-
5,000.
So dumb. I'd say like make a TV that does that. That's comparable to a monitor. Take the price of a normal TV and then just add it to a monitor. That monitor price, that would be the same thing.
Right.
And then not make it thousands of dollars, make it like 600.
Wait, whenever I worked at Sears a long time ago, and it was right around the time 4K was starting to come out, and the first 4K TVs were only available. I don't know why. I guess it was easier in the larger TVs, but it was like 80-inch, and they were like $15,000. But
Yep.
that now you can get one at Walmart for like $300.
Yeah, the
so
one I
hopefully,
have in my upstairs game room, I got on sale for like $150.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one that I played on.
Yeah,
That's such a good deal.
it
what's
was it's a
even
Vizio
better-
P Series 4K TV, and I got it on sale for less than $200. Like that's nuts.
That is nice, and it's probably way better quality than the first ones that came out.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
100%.
exactly. And the people that paid $15,000 for that TV, now you can get a better one for $150.
It's crazy. That's why, like, honestly, the people that are like scalping currently, like, they're honestly probably losing out. But I guess if they're reselling, maybe not. But
Yeah.
I don't know. If you're just trying to get a card quickly and like using a bot to do it, then it's like you could just wait a little bit. It'll go down in price, or you'll just get a better thing.
Yeah, so that raises the question. It's like, do you think there's actually consumers? Is there a big enough market to support the bot market? And there's almost got to be, right? Because like someone's buying all these things to keep the price so high.
I don't even know. Yeah, it's confusing to me that people even do that, and then I guess the quantity's low, and so just that combo of people wanting to make more money and the quantity being low is what's driving it right now.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, for
simple
sure.
supply and demand, right? As the supply decreases in an event where the demand is high, the price is going to increase on what available supply is left.
And I think, in my head, doing this of just buying something and scalping, right? The scalping is a little immoral, and I think because of COVID, it's a little more commonplace because people want money and they need money.
Yeah, it's like a more acceptable side hustle now because you can do it from the comfortable your living room, you know.
Yeah, and if you don't have a job and that's how you make money, like I get it in a way, but it's it's a little harsh too.
100%. And so I have here in the notes. It's kind of, it was a sort of a rhetorical question, like would any of us ever do something like this? And I think I know Greg's answer because me and him have talked about it. I don't think Greg would do anything like this because he's pretty against scalping and reselling. I'm curious to hear what Caleb has to say about it.
I'd say if I had to, for those reasons listed before, like I probably would. Like if I needed the money and
It's a way.
I knew like I could turn it around real quick like that, I think probably would be the easiest option.
Yeah, and I'm not.
Like, it's better than going out and just like buying a fucking ounce of weed or some shit and then trying to flip that. So
That's very true.
I mean, it's at least legal here, right? It's so you can in Texas
Yeah.
you can flip PS5s, but you can't flip an ounce of weed. So
yeah, it's
Or a
definitely
fucking
an
brick or
interesting
some
time to be
shit.
alive for sure. I wonder if that's ever going to change, where you can still like you'll be able to flip weed, but then you can't resell PS5s.
Where they legalize every drug? Minnesota's.
No,
We
no,
gotta go there.
Oregon.
no, it was Oregon, yeah.
Oregon. There you go.
They're
I was looking
cruising
at-
in Oregon, man. They're blasted over there.
I was really hoping that scalping was illegal in Oregon on our list.
Yeah, I know. I have in our notes. I have a list of states where scalping is illegal, and I think I don't want to count through it all, but it was like it's about 15 states,
I'd say
among
15.
which
Well,
are
'cause-
stuff like Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, states like that have actual laws against scalping. But from what I was seeing when I was reading into the laws, is the legislation is pretty much specifically referring to ticket scalping.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't read into each state's laws, so there could be some variance in that. But like, I wonder if there's a gray area there where product scalping is still legal. Or
Well, there's got to be something, because remember how I told you that, and when COVID first started, there was a story of a guy who bought out, like, I don't know, maybe it was Amazon somewhere, like tons of gloves, masks, and alcohol
yeah.
or sanitizer, and then he was reselling it for stupid high prices. I mean, I'm sure he made a ton of money, but then the police came and like seized his inventory for scalping, and I don't know what state that is. I don't know where it was at, but obviously, I mean, it was a pandemic, so that probably pushed the matter. There's no
Yeah.
pandemic
Well,
facing chips out.
Wasn't there a policy that was like put in place like shortly within, I guess just within that time, that was like you can't buy bulk of like these items or some shit?
No scalping supplies.
Yeah, that was pretty much
Yeah.
a store policy, though. I don't think that was anything having to do with
Okay.
like state. That was like a store by store basis. I know, like
Maybe
I know
there was, and we just
Walgreens
missed it.
and CVS. Yeah, maybe, and that's true. I don't really watch the news like that, so maybe there was. Although my
Yeah,
my mom had to tell me there was a fucking a mask mandate in San Antonio. I had no idea.
That's
You're just
actually
going
cool.
out. You're like, oh,
Yeah, I was
hey
just
everyone.
cruising.
To
She
be
calls me
fair-
one day. She says, starting next week, you got to wear a mask. I was like, oh shit, never would have known.
I just like improv bullshit is why was everything so unclear at the beginning of this entire quarantine?
It's still
For the
unclear,
entire
honestly,
pandemic.
dude.
I think they
It's
just no one
better.
really knew, right? Like we
Yeah.
just got a new virus. We're like, what the hell does it do? How's it spread?
We can get to this in the second topic, which is COVID Christmas. The holidays.
Hey, we're
and-
segueing naturally.
segue.
Are we done? Are we done with this
Don't
topic?
I think we can go back if we want.
Wait,
right?
hold on. Final question on this.
Okay.
If you had to scalp, resell items, whatever, what items would you do?
See,
I
this
have
is
a great
what
answer
I
for
wanted
this.
to get this conversation to. Like, under what circumstances and what would you do?
Okay, so I'm on Facebook Marketplace a lot because I like good deals, and so far I've kept the good deals to myself. Right? I've got a.
What does that mean?
What? Duh. What I'm trying to segue into is I'm not reselling them because I could, right? Why is my name in Discord no nickname Greg? What is this? It's
Continue, don't worry
upsetting me.
about
Okay. Anyways, I don't resell my items. I could, and I could make money doing that. And I know I've seen people on Facebook. I always see this one guy post like a ton of different crap, and I'm like, what the hell is he doing? And the other day I asked him about. I was actually wanting to buy something that he had, and I wanted to get a good deal on it. And I think he posted like a set rate above what he buys it for. That's still a pretty good deal, but I tried to lowball him a little bit. And he said no, not at all, and he didn't give me any wiggle room. So I was like, I know this guy's flipping stuff on Facebook Marketplace.
He's got to
And
be.
and that's what I'm saying. And I could do that too with all the stuff I've bought. And I could have definitely flipped it. And I've thought about it, and I think that's a little more morally wise in my head, at least. It's more okay, I guess, because it's not like.
When you said you were keeping it to yourself, my thought was that you were not telling anybody about Facebook Marketplace. Like,
I'm like an 80-year-old guy.
I found this shit.
This.
He's like, does anybody else know about this? Why is no one talking about it?
I'm just like on the street, like, have you heard of Facebook Marketplace? Let me show you.
It's
Psych,
a protected
it's mine.
secret. I own it.
Do you want to buy this TV?
No, but honestly, it kind of raises a good point because like there are certain instances where reselling is okay, but I think it's when there's a shortage that people really start to get upset. Because me and Greg kind of had a long argument about this a week ago or so, where I was sort of on the fence of like, it sucks, it's unfair, but like there's almost nothing you can do about it because once they buy that thing, it's their thing and they can do whatever the hell they want with it. If that means selling it for more money than they paid for it, then I mean that's what they get to do as the owner of that product. But on the hand of morality and like it just it sucks for everyone else. It's kind of just like capitalism at its finest because these people can just they can just buy something that's in short demand or buy several of something in a lot of cases and then just with no intention of using it just to resell it for profit.
I mean, they're driving the demand then too.
Yeah, it's artificial demand.
But I mean, that's what everything runs off of. To be fair, like technically.
Yeah, that's true. It's all just sort of consumer demand, like what everybody wants at that given time. And in a couple months, no one's going to care about the new AMD chips or the new NVIDIA or AMD GPUs, and everything's going to go back to normal, and you'll be able to buy them on Amazon or just walk into Walmart and buy one. And that's sort of the unfortunate nature of it.
That was the thing too when the Switch came out. It happened. It was the same. That was what 2-3 years ago at this point.
I want to say 2. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that same thing happened, but the only difference is Nintendo was just able to ramp up the production. So like they fixed the issue in like a month, basically.
Yeah. To be fair, the Nintendo Switch is probably a lot easier to manufacture than something like an AMD
100%.
CPU or
any of the things that require chips, like silicone chips, like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But I mean, that is definitely a good case where a manufacturer stepped up to the plate right away. It was like, shit, there's a problem. Let's fix it.
Yeah.
And I think
so. I mean, with that being said, what is one of your items that you would do?
Yeah, honestly,
can't be the chip.
I would do something like something in the tech realm, probably, but if not in the tech realm, something in the streetwear brand realm or the space, because it's like those clothes and stuff, they'll sell for like $80 to $100 on Supreme website or any of the other. I don't really, like I said, I'm not super knowledgeable about it, but then you can go back on these reselling websites and see like these shirts being resold for like 2x, 3x, 4x the profit. Which is like, shit, if you can catch it or if you can write a bot to buy it for you, then you're making silly money.
Yeah, imagine getting
I was
stocked
thinking of
at
the
that.
sneakers,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you can just go on Goat right now. It's a shoe site, and you can look at any shoe you want, and chances are under any brand, Vans, Nikes, whatever, there'll be shoes listed for like $1,600 that sold originally in stores for like $100, $200.
Yeah.
And now they're vintage or a rare shoe or whatever, and they're reselling for insane amounts of money.
And you know that's okay with me, like, you know, vintage or collector's items. But I strongly disagree with the artificially driving demand and then scalping the product. You know.
Here's this question for you, Greg. If you had gotten one of those chips immediately, would you care so much about it right now?
I mean, I still care about the chip that I got last year, and I still like it a lot. But you know, as computer goes, there's usually a quick turnaround.
Well, I mean, like, would you care about the scalping if you had received a chip before the scalping was an issue?
Well, that's a good question.
I would care about scalping, but I wouldn't care about the chip. No.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's interesting, right? Because once you have it, it doesn't matter anymore.
Like, yeah, because it's like shit, I feel like if I had gotten it, if I had gotten it, I'd be like, well, not my problem.
Yeah, my stance on it doesn't change if I have it or not. It's just I don't have it, so it's directly affecting me right now.
That's fair. Yeah.
All right, now that we've kind of spent a little bit of time talking about the scalping issue and stuff, we're going to move on and talk a little bit about the COVID crisis, what it's all looking like right now. And
which we tried to touch on until you interrupted us earlier.
All right,
yeah,
dude.
Can't go forward.
Yeah, only backwards, right? I was just so heated about that scalping issue, I wasn't ready to move on, dude. Anyway, I know COVID-19 is not a new thing to talk about, and I know three guys who aren't medical professors or medical professionals rather talking about it really doesn't mean much, but I'm more curious in what it's going to mean for the holidays and what it's going to mean for, you know, our individual holidays.
Yeah, I'll start because I just had to kind of deal with this yesterday. I'm pretty sure I'm going to stay home for Thanksgiving. I don't know about Christmas yet.
Sad. You're not going home?
No. So my family, at least like on my dad's side of the family, they like to get together and do a big dinner and stuff. And I don't feel comfortable being around all of them, knowing that most of them don't adhere to a lot of the policies in place. And I know that like it's definitely a huge risk to go because I have to go to school in person for my music production stuff.
Right, and when you're going to school, I'm sure everybody there pretty much is wearing masks and stuff, right?
Oh yeah, 100% of the time, unless they're like outside eating. But I mean, they're outside, so
right,
can't really do much there.
Yeah, and then it comes into like, so if you're gonna go be at risk anywhere, you know, even if you may not think it's at risk, but if you go hang out with your family, you have to kind of think like there's a chance, you know what I mean? Because you start doing a tree of who contacts who and who's been in like breathable area next to each other, you're gonna get up to like 400 or 500 easy.
It gets long really quick.
You could really count a lot, but you know you have to think. I think one of the main things I try to think about to help me stay home, because of course everyone has that motive, they want to go do stuff, is who am I coming into contact with in my daily life? You know, like my wife, Caleb, you know, Cullen, and then who are they coming in contact with? Their parents who they love so much, my grandparents. I don't want to ever get them sick, so I'd be extra cautious for that reason.
Yeah, and that's the other half of that too, is like we all basically live together. Like,
yeah, so what we do affect each other.
I wouldn't want to bring it back here and then fuck everybody up here, you know?
Yeah, and or like if our parents decide to come down, you know, and obviously I'm gonna spend time with them because they're gonna come see my house, and it's like if I interact with you guys, you know, there's a chance that it could be passed to them from one of us just interacting.
And
with
I
each
think
other.
about that, you know, because
It's
like
something
that,
worth
like
thinking
your
about.
parents are not young, so they're not old by any means, but they're not young, and so they are in the susceptible group, you know.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And this is something, like Caleb said, this is something I also had to deal with recently. His example reminded me, but we were going to go to a wedding recently with my girlfriend's family, and she decided sort of last minute she didn't want to go because, you know, they're more of a, I don't know, I guess a kind of a rural family. They hang out in the more rural parts of Texas, and for any of you not familiar with rural Texas, they don't really take too kindly to mask laws and instructions, mandates. At least that's been my experience out by where my parents live. But she just decided she didn't want to go because it's like it's not worth the risk. You know, it would be nice to see everybody, but if everyone out there has a higher chance of being sick, then it's like not really a risk worth taking.
Yeah, and society's been going on with like mask. I mean, and if people just were more okay with it, I think it would blow over quicker until we got a vaccine.
Yeah. It seems like it's starting to pick back up again, though, which kind of scares me.
It is, but I mean, it's based on, I mean, we're being more lax with the rules. Like it's flu season. It's actual flu season now. So it's going to just go across naturally or transmit naturally. But I don't know. My like backup plan is I might go to Houston to visit family, but only like my direct family.
And just keep it tight knit.
Yeah. And then like before they do the full big dinner or whatever, I'm probably just gonna dip.
That's true. Yeah, I mean,
that could be a smart move.
Yeah, and I have in the notes, it was like, does anybody think that there's maybe going to be like a Zoom family gathering? I know I already talked to my extended family about doing something like that when a summer trip of ours got canceled because of COVID. It's like, hey, let's all just hang out in a Zoom for the night, eat some food, and just talk.
I already know of my friend Thomas, who graduated with me last year. He and his girlfriend had a baby, and you know, they had like a COVID scare not too long ago because his brother got it, and he was over there helping them and stuff, and so they were worried about that. But they did their baby shower over Zoom because I don't know if I said she's pregnant, but yeah, she's pregnant.
That's
kind of cool,
crazy,
though.
actually. I think that's what we're going to be looking at more and more here, especially for like older relatives, like grandmas, grandpas, whatever, even, you know, older aunts and uncles, or like even our parents. Soon they're going to probably be attending more things virtually. I know I just talked to my dad today, and he said him and my mom went to a virtual wine tasting last night.
That's wild. What, do they send you, like a box of wine or what?
Yeah. It was from their bank. They sent him a box of wine and some glasses, and then you hop on the Zoom call with a couple of sommeliers and people from the bank, and they just like talk about the wine and stuff. It's kind of gnarly.
What kind of bougie ass bank do they a part of?
Man.
So, that was going to be my response to the Zoom Thanksgiving question, was like, what if you had to, like, you just sent like a list to your entire family. It was like, hey, I'm cooking this for Thanksgiving. It's like fucking 9 items. And you're like, if you want to join, make sure you cook too, and we can all eat together.
Oh no,
that's crazy.
Everybody's got to make the 9 things.
Oh my
God. All right, now we're gonna have the casserole.
This green bean casserole is good.
It's like Uncle Johnny's cutting out. Like, we gotta wait.
But that's where we're headed, right? It's like, I mean, me and Greg are doing graduate level courses pretty much entirely online,
which I've honestly had a lot of problem with. Like, it's not easy for me to focus. I'm more willpowered whenever I like my whole undergraduate, like every day, me and my group of friends would get together and study and grind. And, you know, I think I want to get back to that. If we all are in the same quarantine level, then I think we should be able to do that again. But it's really affected me I have bad ADHD, and, you know, I just don't study as well at home.
Yeah, I mean, I do too, and it was something I really had to deal with. Ironically, it's sort of backwards for me. When I was on campus and closer to school and had in-person classes, I actually had a harder time focusing. And now in my later years of my undergrad...
Which is wild to me.
Yeah, in my later years of my undergrad, and now that my graduate has pretty much fully been online for the last 2 semesters, or semester and a half, I've had a lot easier time maintaining better grades and staying focused. And you could probably attribute some of that to the workload decreasing because there's not in-person class, but I feel like I'm thriving, honestly.
Definitely a workload decrease. I agree with that.
Yeah. But it's like, what can you
I
do
don't think
about
this
that?
is
You
the
can't
future, though.
supplement it.
No, I think
Like-
normal is there still, and people know what normal is, so we want it back.
Yeah, we're gonna get there, and I mean, like, I think the most this is doing is opening up that option for people that maybe can't make it in person or choose not to for any personal or medical reasons or anything like that.
Yeah, I think,
I
it's
think
gonna
we're
make,
definitely gonna be different afterwards. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's actually
For
it's
sure.
going to make a lot of things a lot easier for people. I think remote work opportunities are going to open up in mass.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like you'll be able to work
Yes.
online in jobs where you would traditionally have to be in the office, because it's just making people realize like you could be virtual for pretty much everything.
Yeah, and I mean, like, even on a bigger scale, the companies that are allowing their workers to work from home are saving so much money on electricity and
100%.
anything, plumbing, like anything inside.
Yeah, utilities.
their
Like, I mean, think
buildings.
about how much like toilet paper you have to buy for an entire office building that you wouldn't otherwise. It's like that's like thousands of
Yep.
dollars alone for everybody who's just not shitting in your office.
And you know how great that is? Like we're reducing usage, we're reducing driving pollution from commuting, and then not only that is when you force people to use their own resources, of course they're going to be more frugal. I mean, most people at least. And so we're all around doing better things. Like it's better for the planet, and a lot of the time it's better for us. And so I 100% agree with it.
My only hope is that, like, if it kind of goes to a majority remote working for jobs that can, that companies might be able to provide utilities like internet specifically.
Honestly,
I agree with
not
that.
a bad idea.
I mean, think about how much they probably had to pay in as far as like overhead for a common worker. Like, there's probably a good chunk, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You might,
Yeah,
you
I
might
mean-
get like a work from home stipend now because you're using up more of your resources that would otherwise, like maybe some people count on, like, this was a big issue like with kids at the cafeteria, right? When they get a free meal at school. So it was one less meal parents had to worry about, and now the parents have to supply the meal. So some schools and some states started doing free meals, but it's like, it could be the same way for people, you know, maybe they don't have enough money to bring food, so they get like a bagel at their work cafeteria or something, and that's a lunch.
Yeah, because they do provide food, they provide toilet paper, they provide water, they provide sometimes even sodas. So I could see like an hourly stipend going towards like utilities, food, necessities.
Yeah,
I
and that's
don't see that
definitely
being
not to
wild.
say- That's definitely not to say that, like, I hope if it ever went there that you wouldn't be locked in, like, oh, my job only provides AT&T 50. I can't do anything. Like, I feel like you can get a base, and then
Should
like,
be a credit, right?
if you want to pay extra, yeah. So credit, yeah. If you want to
Yeah.
pay extra, you can
I agree.
upgrade your internet.
And I think also that it may work to the point where, you know, they may be optional. Like it'd be, you know, it'd be funny in like 20 years if someone's like, you know, I got a job, and we're like, oh, cool, and he's like, and you get an office. You know what I mean? Like you get an office, you get to go in person and get an office, and maybe there will be a choice later down, like you can go in person or you can not. That's a little more complicated.
Like it's gonna be
but
something cool. Like, no way, you mean I actually get to go to work?
you get a space in a building? Wow. You don't need a corner in your room?
It's really funny, but like some people actually like they live for that, bro.
Right?
Like already.
Well, you know, I was excited because when I got my position at SWERI, the Southwest Research Institute, as a doctoral student, I got an
drop.
office, and I was like, wait, what did you say?
I said name drop.
Why do I'm so used to saying SWERI, and I'm like, no one knows what that is. And so I want to like, I want to go see my office. I have an office. Like, come on, like I'm just a kid. Just a poor kid that made it. We should all hang out at my office.
Just a poor kid who made it. Now you can't even go to your own doctoral office, man. That's kind of a bummer.
It sucks. And I don't get to hang out with like. There's only 16 people I think in my incoming class there's only 8, and then total in the SWERI program there's like around 16 to 20, and I don't even get to hang out with them.
That's crazy.
That actually kind of sucks. My program is a lot bigger, so I don't really feel like I'm as isolated as you must. Because it's like, you know, it's whatever. I take it or leave it. The 300, however many people are in the Cyber Masters program. But for a program that small, you would actually probably individually benefit significantly from being able to hang out with each other.
Yeah, and that's how it was in at UTSA as an undergrad too, is because there's only like in your class that's progressing at the same time as you in the same rate. There's only maybe 20 or so, so you get to know everyone that's in there, and even in the extended program, I knew a lot of them, and it's kind of nice to have it like that. But at the same time, growth is good.
That's true. That's true.
Growth is good.
I think honestly, to kind of circle back to the original point, like I think the holidays this year are going to be incredibly weird for a lot of people, and it's going to be interesting. Yeah. It's going to be certainly interesting to see how individual families kind of approach it. I know my parents sort of took it a lot more seriously at the beginning than they do now. It's kind of like, I don't want to let this thing ruin my life. They just retired. They got a whole the next chapter of their life ahead of them. Do they really want to spend a year trapped inside?
Yeah, they're still playing it smart though at the same time.
But it's something they're
definitely not like. Yeah,
it's like it's adapting. Everyone's kind of learning how to adapt in the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The great thing is that vaccines are supposedly going to be like here in March, which is kind of nice, and like they're projecting normalcy, whatever that is.
What, so the government can put a chip in me and track me, dude? I'm good.
All right, dude, you're starting to sound like my uncle. We'll have that uncle,
But the other thing too is like they were testing out a vaccine that was actually a intranasal spray, like
Nasonex, dude.
Basically, yeah. So it's like you just like go in and get a spray into your brain and like
no, not
brain spray.
Brain spray.
I just tweet that getting brain sprayed today.
That's gonna be the title of this episode. Brain spray.
That definitely could be. Yeah, there's definitely some gray area in that name.
Episode 1, brain spray.
Brain spray. Great title.
All right. So I feel like we gave that topic its due respect. It's kind of already like beating a dead horse at this point anyway. So we'll go ahead and move on. I don't even know how to approach this. Caleb just wrote as topic 3, why is food so hard to eat sometimes? And I just
what's the tab? Is your question about it is like that's just a statement, and then you put what could be done to alleviate the pain? What kind of shit is this, dude? And not only that, what's this next topic? Like I've been reading these.
Hold on. Don't even worry about that one yet. Don't even worry yet.
All
right.
So why is food so hard to eat sometimes? This feels like a intro quip to the fucking like invention game on Jackbox TV.
Yes, it does.
But so yesterday, I got home from school, went to HEB, and I had to pick up some groceries. And I was like, oh, there's sushi here. This looks great. So I got some sushi, and in this sushi box was a trio. It was like 3 different rolls, and one of them was a cooked like shrimp roll. And basically, so I don't know if you've ever seen a cooked shrimp roll, but at the ends of them, they have the tails of the shrimp on there.
It's disgusting.
I've seen that.
All like fried in the tempura and stuff. And I'm like digging this shit. Like I'm enjoying it, bro. And then I get to this last piece and I'm like, okay, I got to pull off the tail of the shrimp so that I can eat the roll. But it's all fried into the tempura and like the whatever is just it's coated in. And so I pulled off the tail and it pulled out all the meat of the sushi. And then I sat there for like a minute.
I don't eat seafood at all. I hate seafood. You guys know that. But so like, can you not eat the tail of shrimp?
So, you can. So especially when it's fried, it's just like nothing.
What?
I'll eat anything.
That's true. I mean, I'll straight up, if I'm eating fried chicken, I'll just eat a bone.
so I'm gonna get to that too. Hold up. So,
okay.
I thought about this. So shrimp comes with an outside shell that you're supposed to take off and then boil. You don't boil the shell. You boil the shrimp after you take the shell off. But the tail usually is like socketed into the end of the shell. So like there's still meat in the tail, but you have to like pull the hard part off. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
This I don't know why they fucking do it, but the tail is just on there when they fry it, so that you have to pull it off and then try to leave the meat, but it never works.
I think they expect you to eat it because a lot of places make the roll like that. And if I don't know if I'm just saying next time, just give it
Greg,
like
you're
a
not gonna
bite.
tell-
It's
No.
give it a bite. It's just like it disintegrates because the frying of it. It just. I mean, I guess it like
What they should do
ruins all the molecular
is
bonds.
put the shrimp head on the front side of the roll. So it
Okay.
just looks like
No.
one long shrimp.
Actually, that would probably look a little better, so I'd be okay with it.
With the eyes and everything, or just like
yeah. Full commit.
The eyes and the poop trail
It's
too.
like a wiener dog shrimp kind of thing. You just see it in
Yo.
the box, and it's like the head is the front and the tail is at the back.
Have you ever what is it called? De-shelled shrimp, and then what's the other word?
deveined.
Deveined them. It's you
Yeah.
pull out the poop trail.
Oh,
Come on.
Yeah, you know people fry
I
that.
don't want to eat. Okay, that's just.
I'm not even kidding. Like I think that's a Cajun thing.
That's like people eating
You know-
I'm wrong.
placenta.
Sorry,
you know? I mean,
Cajuns,
you're
if
just
I'm wrong, but
Jeez.
I said that's like eating placenta. You're just wrong.
okay.
What are you talking about? No one eats placenta, dude.
Yeah, people eat placenta, dude.
People eat placenta, bro.
What from what?
It's like like for their baby. It's like a. I feel like it's a rich people thing.
Okay.
Like, probably
Where
like
else
You're
we
something.
joking.
In the wild, bro.
Nah.
Well, everything that has live birth has placentas. Dude,
What?
what are you talking about? There's
Yeah,
Then
no.
why are you
there's no-
saying where from?
But just humans
Well, like,
are stupid enough to
monkeys
eat
or,
them,
like-
dude.
Well, I didn't know if they got like a duck placenta. I didn't know you were like France is into duck placenta.
you mean an eggshell?
No, there's a placenta.
Hold on, bro. Why in the fuck would I talk about a duck placenta, dude?
I don't know, dude.
Holy shit.
Oh
Oh my
dude,
God.
it's like a.
Well, I didn't know. I mean, you're talking about eating, so I'm not thinking anything human.
Yeah. Well, it's like I guess it's probably cannibalism in a way, but it's like people they'll have a baby and then they'll eat the placenta.
That's disgusting, dude.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's not.
do you
like
think? Do you think other mammals are just snacking on placentas?
Probably, yeah.
Other mammals straight up eat each other. So we don't have.
Then
too bad
spiders
of
are
that.
like,
and
I'm
also
gonna eat
they're
my
young,
babies.
so. Yeah. Okay, so back to this chicken.
Well,
wing
no,
thing.
the next step logically is just eat your baby when it comes out, right?
Okay. I
Well, you
honestly
just-
don't
what?
think we can say that, dude.
Are we gray areaing that one?
Eat babies?
All right, dude. It's staying in.
That's an okay topic.
Topic
Doctoral
3:
candidate
eat babies.
Gregory Kale, everybody.
I don't agree with it. Just saying, don't eat placentas.
You see him backpedaling, guys?
Well, I mean, I fully
All
agree
right.
with you, but don't eat placentas. I'm just saying it's a thing.
Oh, I thought you were about to
people
say I fully agree with placentas. All right.
Guys, this is supposed to be about food and how hard it is to eat sometimes.
do. Dude,
Well, yeah,
one had
placentas
any
are hard to
idea
eat.
Where you were going with that topic, bro.
True.
I do want to double it up though and say that it's not just shrimp and sushi, cooked shrimp in sushi. It's
Pickles.
why are bone-in wings a thing?
I'll
I
agree
mean,
with you on this, dude.
Okay, so like I want to just for Greg here because I think you know, but we are not Neanderthals anymore.
No, we figured that out. We're erectus now. We stand straight up.
All right, dog.
Like 2 feet, bro. Like we don't need bones in our meat. We don't have to work for that shit anymore. I paid for it.
I'm a sapien. I don't know about you. I'm not an erectus.
I don't know.
Yeah,
about
with that curved ass back, you're definitely not an erectus.
Damn, dude. You're less evolved than me for sure. I knew it.
But no, I definitely agree with what Caleb is saying here because it's like why would I pay money to sit down and do work? Like
Straight
I
up.
didn't
dude.
want a project. I want food.
If I
Yeah,
wanted bone in my chicken, I'd go fucking hunting, bro.
That's
Y'all wild. I mean, I think it's just it's like Cajun food. Do y'all like crawfish and all that? I know you don't, Cullen, but you do, right, Caleb?
Crawfish is okay when it's outside.
And then
the
do you like lobster?
shell. Lobster tastes great when it's outside of the shell.
See, I mean, it's the same thing. People,
Listen,
I
if
think,
I'm paying
justify
someone
the
for
same way.
food, I want to pay them for the entire thing. You know, like
yeah. I mean,
Well,
I don't mind cracking the lobster shell, so I don't mind taking the bone out. And if someone was if I was to pay more, which I imagine you'd have to for cracked lobster, I mean, yeah, I'd do that too. But I would probably sometimes want to crack the lobster.
yeah, but
It's more of like a
different with wings though. It's like you're just eating less meat around the bone.
well.
Yeah,
Then
it's
also
you
like
get less for your. You pay less. I get that, but it's like you got what you get greasy hands and less food. That's your reward.
It's fun. It's like ribs. It's like pistachios. I think like I'm not gonna get shelled pistachios because I'm gonna eat them so freaking quick. I'm gonna eat the whole bag in like a minute. Whereas if I had to crack them, it takes me a little bit, and then I get hung, and then I notice I'm
but it's
full.
not. You're not buying an entire bag of wings. You're getting like 8.
Yeah, and I would imagine they're comparable in time to eat. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Greg,
okay.
Korean barbecue.
I haven't had it. Don't just start. Don't just say Greg and then be like some food.
No, hold on.
What do you want me to do?
Hold on, Greg.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, long pause.
You pay to go to a place to sit down
To cook food.
to cook your
I don't
own
agree with
food?
that. No. I don't agree with
that's
that.
nuts,
I'm
man.
not paying.
And it's
At
so
all.
expensive. It's like not even reasonable. It's like, oh, just buy the raw meat. I'll just be like, I'll bring my own freaking ground
Give me
beef.
the ramen. I'll take that.
Yeah, it's like a
Like-
nice date out too. People go to Korean barbecue. You know what else is crazy is the melting pot. I can melt cheese
Alright,
in the
alright.
microwave.
All right, hold on, dude.
There's a little bit, little more grayness to that. I think
Not grayness, bro.
it's an
There's
experience.
some grayness though. I think
There's a little meltiness there. You know, it's like
okay.
you don't know if it's a liquid or solid. You know.
you don't get the full experience if you just cook it at home, right? So it's like
What's the
Well, what about,
experience, bro? A hot
melting
pot?
different chocolates, bro.
Well, you're like, oh, I'm eating. I've never been there, but I'm imagine it's like I'm eating this steak, right? And then I'm like, well, I could dip it in cheese first.
Okay.
I have a
very
fork,
true.
or I could just eat
Very true.
cheese.
I can tell you've never been there because you have just no clue how the melting pot works.
No, I don't. I
There's
don't know
not-
why I'm arguing.
At any given time, there's not just a big pot of melted cheese to any side of you.
Is it like Korean barbecue?
Sort of, yeah.
It
Yeah, I
is.
disagree
Actually,
there.
I agree with Cullen now. I hate the melting pot.
All right, Caleb's so easy to sway. I love it.
No, it just follows my argument. I can't backpedal like you did about the placenta. So
Okay.
Dude, I didn't say I was gonna eat a placenta. You crazy
No,
person.
you did say you wanted to eat babies, though.
True.
No, I said the next step is eating babies.
Oh, okay. The
next
logical
step for
is-
who?
It's like
you?
one. No, it's like one. If you're gonna eat a placenta, it's like, oh, what came before it?
Greg's list is 1, live, 2, eat a baby.
Yeah, that's what I have on my to-do list. You're right. It's like Patrick, do nothing. I've crossed it off for today.
I'm surprised you're not the Hollywood elite yet. That's crazy.
Oh,
I know, right?
no, dude. I think you have to like inject foreskin first to become the Hollywood elite.
Okay, I don't even know what that just meant.
It's exactly what it sounds like.
You melt foreskin
No,
and
no, no,
inject it in you?
Yeah, yeah.
Wait,
Oh.
guys, I just had a mind-blowing thought.
You guys are really just blowing my mind with what's going on in the world.
No, dude, I just thought of something so insane that just makes sense.
Okay.
Brazilian steakhouses are expensive
Right.
because they give you so much food that you don't have to work for.
Oh shit.
So there's like the cheap area where it's like they make it for you. Then there's the middle area where you're just stupid and you make it yourself and pay like a
Pay
medium
more,
amount.
yeah.
And then there's like a lot where you're like, I know what's going on. Let me just buy expensive food that's pre-made.
That's the pinnacle of it right there. That's why they charge you so much because they're like, we know you want
That's
this food.
crazy.
There's definitely some kind of society for
All
this.
you got to do is flip a card over and we'll just dump meat on you.
It's just meat starts falling at you.
Sounds like prom.
Oh my
Okay.
Let's move on to the next.
All right, yeah. On that note, we're definitely gonna move on to our next and
What is-
final topic.
What is a human funnel?
Okay.
Who put that? Caleb
Oh,
put that in.
No. I want to clarify. I wrote as potential topic 4 because I wasn't sure we were gonna make it to it.
Oh,
But
we're getting to this.
the potential topic 4 is human funnel, and I want it's human funnel, and I want to clarify as to why. So yesterday,
Can we take a guess each?
yeah.
before
Yeah, both of you guess. Actually, that's a good point.
Greg, go first.
Just think about like what you'd be doing to make you think like human funnel.
Well, the only thing I can think of is just like someone who eats a lot. I don't know, or you have like a bowel problem and you just like you got to have a stomach sack
So, like,
because you
someone who
can't
has, like,
digest.
IBS is like a human funnel.
No. This is someone who can't digest foods properly.
Just
So
So
add
it's like a funnel. It's like when you got bad diarrhea in your body's. You got like you just got over food poisoning and your body's just dumping the load, but all the time.
So it's like you put a lot in, and a lot comes out more shapely.
No, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not what I was thinking. That's a good guess though.
Okay, my guess, and it's gonna be very, very simple, is I feel like you're talking about the really cool and fun ride at Six Flags.
I also thought it was a ride. I also thought that.
Where you go down the tube and you go up and down the funnel.
No, also not that.
Okay.
But no,
Do we mix them? Could be it.
No, don't shit on the funnel ride.
Okay.
They have to close down the whole park for that. Are you crazy?
That's 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
That's
It's
a
like
hell of a
lightning.
hazard for sure. No. I was drinking yesterday. I had this big gallon that I got at 7-Eleven. I've been trying to drink about a gallon a day. And I was coming near the end of the gallon, and in my head I was like, why do I have to wait in between when I drink and when I pee? It's like, why can't I just choose to like stand over the toilet, drink water, and then have it just go from the top of me right out? Like, where is it
Have
going?
you ever heard of biology?
Nah, I got like a C in
I feel
biology,
like
I think.
I feel like we should leave that point to the listeners and just end the episode right there.
Okay.
Can I give my final argument?
So we're gonna have a 15-minute conversation about why food is hard to eat, but you guys can't.
Sometimes.
We gotta draw the line. Come on, Cullen.
Man, all right, we'll pass it. We'll pass it on to the listeners then. If anyone agrees with me, or I mean, wants to engage in that, don't you think that'd be cool? Like, there's a lot of practical applications for that.
I'll leave my 2 cents. I agree.
God.
Because like, dude, imagine like, you know, people, like, say if you're a drug user and you get drug tested, like you have to, people do like all these insane concoctions. They have to pee all the time, drink a lot of cranberry juice and stuff. If you could just turn that faucet, right, and then just like drain your shit. Just like put a hose in your mouth, right, and then just shoot it all out.
All I'm hearing from this is that Greg was probably he was the closest.
Oh yeah.
In his answer.
Yeah, I mean, sort of, yeah.
Well, thank you, I guess. I don't feel accomplished at all.
You win one human.
No, you never
point.
feel like.
Okay, I'll get a hose and I'll start. That's gonna be a video we
I
upload.
feel really ungood about bringing that point up. Honestly, I was expecting there to be a little more to that, but you know, it's just.
I fucking love it.
It was an evening thought after playing some Warzone with my friends. So
I'm gonna start writing down evening thoughts because I feel like this could go good places if we all did that.
100%.
It does, as we've seen so far.
All right, thanks for everybody for tuning in to our first episode of Some Bullshit. Leave any sort of feedback or suggestions you have in the comment section on Anchor or wherever you're listening to your podcast, and we'll be sure to take them into account in the next episode. Anybody else have anything to say before we go?
Go ahead and follow and like and subscribe.
True, and tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Nah, not if they want to. They must.
Tell our friends.
Tell everybody.
Yeah, I'll tell my friends. Scream it from the mountains.
All right, I'm fucking out of here.
All right, thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.